decision making, all right? We're not yet comfortable AI making decisions where it matters, right? Business decisions, strategic decisions, no, not yet, right? But what about tactical? What about how do we better implement AI capabilities in terms of helping with decision making?
Yeah, I think you're on the ball there. Letting the machine make complete decisions when it comes to heart surgeries or business decisions are probably a long ways off from being comfortable with that. But we have to acknowledge that their machines are able to analyze signals that we can pick up faster than we can in parallel. And really, the sweet spot is the power and proficiency and efficiency of machines with the creativity and intuition of humanity. And so the right mix is somewhere in between that spectrum. And as far as leveraging it into decision making, I do think we're going to get to a place where the natural language capabilities get so good that you could start to have strategic conversations. You may not let the machine action for you, but you might form yourself a council of AI, and you might have one AI that's very kind of aggressive, very forward looking, very like, here's how we try to take over the world. And then you've got one AI that's a little bit more playing defense for you, watching your six, making sure that your resources are efficiently, and you can have one that's just out there thinking completely random thoughts. What if we opened up a new business line? What if we reached out to this industry and tried to form strategic partnerships? And you could have, like I said, a council of AI where you're talking to them, but I'm still going to be the one who actions them, at least for a long time.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you know what? We cannot talk about technology without mentioning the loop, the amazing, powerful loop between science, technology, and engineering. Okay. And I'm referring to your article. So please follow Matt on LinkedIn. You've got a bunch of resources there. I'm learning a lot from. So can you tell us, please, science, technology, and engineering in that loop, where where business should actually fit in, or what's the role of the business around it?
So this is the part where I fess up and admit I stole part of this from Ray Kurzweil, but then I scaffolded off of it, right? So Ray is an amazing mind, engineer. I believe he still works at Google. He came up with optical character recognition, scanning documents and turning them into actual letters on a computer screen back in the 70s. And he's noted the rise in transistors. He's noted the connectivity of different networks. And so he was the one who first brought to my attention through a book, not firsthand, that science and technology are in a sort of dance with each other, right? Science is the increased resolution of understanding, while we're also gaining new questions to figure out to ask in the first place. And then technology are tools that we use to pierce deeper and deeper into science. So, you could essentially understand that science is coming up with new technologies that we're able to then use to unlock new science. Now, believe it or not, sometimes you need to connect those two a little bit more directly in order for it to be useful. And I think of that as engineering. This is the new part that I added, where you could think of engineering as a bridge between science and technology and back again from technology to science. And these are forming flywheels with technology, science, and engineering spinning faster and faster and faster. And the cool thing is businesses are starting to sit on top of these flywheels. We're using them to create efficiencies, to find customers at lower cost points, to treat customers better, and to enhance our net promoter score and things of that nature. So it's incredible to see these converging forces all, you're essentially at the knee of so many curves at the same time, and they're all kind of intersecting with each other in a beautiful mesh. And the future is unknowable, but I could definitely see it coming at me faster and faster. And that's exciting, because as that's happening, there are challenges, right? Structural unemployment and things that technology could cause, but we've always found our ways around that in the past. But the upside of it, I think, is vistas of unlimited creativity, where the machines are doing a lot of quote unquote the grunt work, and we're busy creating and kind of playing a more elevated game.
Exactly, and more of it. I encourage everyone to check out Matt's publication, Life in the Singularity. Matt, right? We'll put the link down here, because it's a wealth of information, great resources, and encouraging read. I am enjoying it immensely. Matt, thanks so much for this. So yeah, just turning the wheel a little bit further in terms of, we talked about technology, we talked about business, but what about these new business models? Because we hear a lot about how entrepreneurship changing, singlepreneurship, right? We're talking
Yes.
about platform economy, creator economy. Where the future is in these terms, Matt, please.
Well, if you've got automation and AI creating a beautiful dance where many of us don't need to sit there at the office pushing buttons and clacking for 10 hours a day, then we're going to have a cognitive surplus. I'm borrowing this now from Daniel Pink, but the idea is that as we free up time, we have to do something with it. And I think that, when you look at the Industrial Revolution in London, when the machines came online, and I don't mean the computers, I mean like the original OG Industrial Revolution, you also saw bars and the consumption of gin come online because there was a cognitive surplus and extra time. So what I think we need to do as a culture is find more productive outlets for this excess time that we have coming in front of us. And so I think that looks like single person businesses, solopreneurships, and creative endeavors. And I think we're going to form, one person brands on X, on platforms like X. And then we're going to, talk about our unique experiences and what makes us, different. Once we have artificial super intelligence, are you really going to go on the internet and say anything that's going to blow anyone's mind or break any, brand new news? It's going to be difficult because of how advanced that technology really is going to be versus us. But what the machines are never going to have is your story. They're never going to have the unique mix of where you were, what you saw, what you felt, right, all at the same time. And so I think each of us are going to be on platforms like X, sharing our stories, sharing what we've learned, sharing cool new ways we figured out to use the AI to do something neat. So that adventure is never going to stop. So yeah, I do see an incredible sort of utopia is a bit of a naughty word because it sounds like you're not paying attention. Like you're not really going to get to utopia. That's why you say it's utopic. But I do think that we are heading for an age of abundance and a place where we have a lot of time and we have a lot of available bandwidth to focus it on things that are more creative and more holistic than just so granular and focused on getting our work product completed and off to the next thing. So I love that you said life in the singularity is hopeful because I do think it's hopeful, but I also think it's realistic, and I try to bring the hope, but I also try to point back to the technological advancements that I think underpin why I'm hopeful in the way that I am.